everyone. I welcome you all to the DBMCA channel. I am myself Dr. Rajesh Gubba. I am the general medicine educator and a cardiologist. So, as a part of the daily clinical ECG discussion, today I am discussing the clinical ECG number 8. So, I'll discuss a very important clinical scenario today and what you have to do subsequently when the patient presents to you in that way. I will teach you in this session. Before going ahead with the session, let me tell you on 29th of January, I'm discussing the entire ECG all the way from basics to the advanced level. And after attending this particular session, trust me, you will definitely become thorough and perfect in realizing and recognizing the importance of the ECG. I will be discussing all the clinical emergencies wherein you will be saving the life of a patient if you diagnose this particular ECG. And this particular session will be on eGurukul app and it will be a live session. You will not be having a recorded format of this particular session. Having said this, let me discuss the today's clinical scenario. So I have a 69-year-old male with a medical history significant of previous myocardial infarction, two vessel coronary artery bypass graft, and he is known diabetic, congestive heart failure, and ischemic cardiomyopathy. Ejection fraction is 40%. Presented to the emergency department by ambulance complaining of palpitations, lightheadedness, and shortness of breath. So the major complaints are palpitations and lightheadedness. There is no history of chest pain. The patient experienced brief syncopal episode while getting up from the bed immediately before his wife calling the emergency services. Whereas once the patient came to the emergency department, when we have seen the patient appeared awake, alert, and is no acute distress. His medication included aspirin, felodipine, furosemide, and as well as insulin for diabetes mellitus. So this is a clinical scenario. And when I have taken the ECG appeared in this format. See, my question is not about what is the diagnosis of this ECG. Everyone knows this particular ECG is suggestive of ventricular tachycardia. Now, you are the emergency medicine physician attending this patient. What next? What you will do to this particular patient right now? That is what I wanted to teach you in this session. What I will do, I will tell you what we have done, and ultimately like how we have discharged the patient. I will just go through a simple sequence. So what is this ECG suggestive of? You have the presence of a wide complex tachycardia, and it is a monomorphic tachycardia, and the heart rate, it is around, if you calculate, it will be around 180 per minute. So this is suggestive of ventricular tachycardia. And the blood pressure of the individual was 100/70. That means the individual is hemodynamically stable. So it is like a stable VT. Now what I have done to this particular patient is I have given 150 milligrams of amiodarone intravenously over 10 minutes. Then followed by that, I have put an infusion of 1 milligram per minute for 6 hours, and I have decreased to 0.5 milligrams per minute subsequently over another 18 hours. So 24 hours of amiodarone infusion I have put this particular patient. So what I want to tell you in this patient is, everyone knows we give either amiodarone or lidocaine, but how you have to administer, what is the dosage of the amiodarone, that is what I wanted to tell you in this scenario. 150 milligrams intravenous bolus, then followed by that 1 milligram per kg for 6 hours, and then you reduce it to 0.5 milligrams per minute over subsequent 16 hours. So totally you give 24 hours of amiodarone infusion. After giving 24 hours of amiodarone infusion, this is the ECG of the patient. So you can make out that the individual has attained the sinus rhythm, right? So you can make out the P wave, QRS, and as well as the T waves, but still wide complexes are there. And apart from that, the other abnormalities what we have seen after attaining the sinus rhythm is ST depressions are there. In 2,3 AVF, ST depression is there, and even in V5, V6 also ST depression is there. So what is this patient? He is a known case of ischemic heart disease who has undergone coronary artery bypass graft. So what I have done is I have started heparin infusion also. Why? Because the ischemic changes are there, which is where you have ST depression. And then I have also done troponin also. So when I have done the troponin value, initially it was 0.05 nanogram per ml. That was within the normal limit. But I have repeated the troponin. It is almost like 5.2 nanogram per ml after 8 hours of presentation. Right? After 8 hours of presentation, the troponin is 5.2 nanogram per ml. See what I have done next. You should not suspect he had a re-attack. It is not like that. Raised troponin can be seen even in case of arrhythmias as well. Our patient had a monomorphic VT, because of which there is a myocardial injury, due to which there is release of the troponin into the circulation. So now what is the ultimate therapy in this patient? The ultimate therapy in this patient is, this is what I wanted to teach you in this session. The patient underwent the ICD, implantable or internal cardioverter defibrillator, following day, and then I have discharged the patient. So what I wanted to teach you in this particular clinical scenario is a patient with past history of coronary artery disease with reduced ejection fraction, had one episode of ventricular tachycardia. What you have to do, you have to put the patient, or you have to place ICD, implantable cardioverter defibrillator. That is an indication. And sometimes they may ask you even the trials also. So we have MADI trial and as well as AVID trials. These are the two trials which have demonstrated that ICDs are superior to compared to that of pharmacological therapy alone. See, actually after giving amiodarone, the patient has reverted back to sinus rhythm. I would have discharged the same way, but again there is chance of rearrhythmias. So in order to prevent that, I have put the patient on implantable cardioverter defibrillator and then discharge the patient. So what are the key teaching points in this scenario? Almost in 70% of cases, if you have wide complex tachycardia and if you are unable to diagnose, most of the time it is VT. So treat it as ventricular tachycardia itself. And amiodarone, or even we can give lidocaine, is the drug of choice for patient presenting with stable VT. Then if it is like pulseless VT or unstable VT, then what you have to do? You have to do defibrillation. That is, electrical cardioversion has to be done. And the last point is a very, very important point. Definitive therapy of VT or VF in selected patients. You mark my word, in selected patients like elderly individuals, post myocardial infarction, post resuscitation from near fatal ventricular dysrhythmias. In these individuals, you have to put the patient on ICD, implantable cardioverter defibrillator. What is our patient? Our patient is post myocardial infarction. This patient definitely require an ICD. So this is an important clinical scenario of the day. Thank you very much. And let me remind you once again, on 29th of January this month, I will be discussing the entire ECG on eGurukul app, and it will be a live session. So for subscriptions, please click on the link which is given in the description. Thank you very much. See you in the next clinical scenario tomorrow.